Welcome to the Up and Over Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast where a bunch of marks discuss pro wrestling, where none of our opinions matter and it's a work anyway. Firstly, let me introduce the man, the myth, the legend, our curator of the podcast, the one, the only Bam Bam Bigelow enthusiast himself. That is Casey El Gordo Gringo.
Hi, that's good.
Let me introduce my man. Pat, I'm not at you yet. The one, the only Big Papa C, our resident father. I guess Casey's a dad too, but we're going with the new resident father. That's Cortland.
How's it going?
It seems like over the past week we've had a change up, a change of heart, if you will. We've ditched the Scientology hat. We've gone with a fresh, clean cut. That's my man, Patty Mills.
Welcome to the Black Parade, bitch.
Before I get to me, I just want to obviously send a shout out to our local Cadillac cowboy himself, the man that's missing the podcast tonight, one Ethan Lewis.
Now, I never would have thought that Ethan was going to be the one that did a heel turn, so kind of.
Damn, I wanted to talk to Ethan about Euphoria this week.
Oh, man. I'm currently on leave from work because I think I am COVID positive. You don't know how hard it is being Mike Klinsky.
That was probably
I forgot that you're using that gimmick still, so it makes it so much funny. Last week you're like, I'm eating cans of tuna. Last week you're like, now I got COVID.
Yeah, things change. Things
It's
change
a never-ending
quick.
cycle.
Things change quick. Fellas, today on the 13th episode of the Up and Over podcast, we are covering ECW's Hardcore Heaven from 1997. Let's talk about how that rolls off the tongue real nice and well. Before we get there, did y'all want to discuss anything that's happened in the week of professional wrestling or pro wrestling adjacent things?
I'll tell you something. Today we got Gunther.
Oh, man. This is what we're starting with?
I mean, really, man. Talk about fucking up.
So, okay.
Did y'all see the promo that Walter cut on it?
No.
It's fucking.
He
Like stops the match and he gets the mic and he goes, "The winner of the match, Gunther," and then walks away. It is miserable.
He's just like, in the winner of the match is Gunther, and then he throws the mic. It throws the mic down, and then Imperium all of Imperium kind of gets in the ring, and it becomes like a whole thing. But like, not only is it super tone deaf on obviously WWE's part to go this route with this name and everything that's behind it.
What's behind it? Go ahead.
Elaborate for our fans. Our fans may not know.
So basically, the name that WWE trademarked just so happens to be the name of a U-boat captain from one Nazi Germany.
German Nazi is what
because I can't. It's honestly like it hurts my brain to still think about this. But like, one of the things that I saw earlier that kind of saddened me a little bit was the Hurricane, Shane Helms, came out and was like, when I first got to the WWE, I lost my name, I lost my gimmick, I lost my title because he was a cruiserweight champion at the time. And he goes, Walter will be fine with a name change.
Yeah.
I don't know. You went from being Shane Helms to the Hurricane and not fucking Walter, which is it's a whatever name. It's Walter. Who the fuck cares to fucking Nazi U-boat captain? So
yeah,
it just blows my mind.
Same.
Walter has gotten so much momentum under the name. Like, you hear the name Walter surrounding WWE, and it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Whoever he's facing, I feel bad for that guy. And now it's like, oh, he's facing Nazi Gunther. Let me make sure I don't give it a rating.
Braun Breaker versus Gunther. It fucking.
Oh man,
that just sounds like some backwoods wrestling shit.
It just blows my mind that like there's so many people that I personally know that don't watch NXT, right? And this last week they announced that Walter and Roderick Strong were going to have a match. And everyone in the group chat, everyone on Twitter was like, oh shit, I'm actually going to watch NXT this week. This is going to be a good match. I didn't watch the match, granted. But, like, I heard no one ranting about this match. I only heard about the name change.
Well, because they went, we're going to have this super cool match. And everyone went, cool. And they're like, how do we fuck up this momentum? And they're like, call them something Nazi-related. Like, 20
Give him the
hours
U-boat
before.
guy's name. Give it to
24
him.
hours before.
What was that out of? I almost said that out of touch because I couldn't think of the name. Booker T said, what about it this week? About Gunther?
God.
He said something like, now that's heat, brother. He'll be a top merchandise seller in no time.
Wait.
Just because of a merch change.
Wait.
No
really?
way.
That was in the group chat, right?
I was bullshitting when I said that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was bullshitting.
everything about.
I worked
I
you,
read
brother.
that and I was like,
I worked you,
You
brother.
worked yourself into a shoot there,
Booker
brother.
T,
I worked
no
you,
I
brother.
worked
slander,
myself, brother.
no slander from the Up and Over podcast, Booker T. Do not hit us with a suit.
God.
I can't believe that. I worked you, brother.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, technically, we're not trying to put words into Booker's mouth, but given what Booker
Is it
said
far
in the
off
past,
from what he
it
would
doesn't
say?
sound super unbelievable, so, like, it is what it is. Let's move on.
Nope. I googled
wanna talk
Gunther
about
Stark.
this.
I googled Gunther Stark. Let me read you the 4 top stories that pop up. Firstly, I'll save the first one for last. WWE files trademark for ring name shared by Nazi officer. WWE files new trademark on Gunther Stark. WWE is getting slammed for changing a wrestler's name to a Nazi's. And from Deadspin.com, WWE veered a little too close to Nazism last night. Any news is good press, right? Any press is good press.
I don't know who
bad
covered it, but
publicity.
it was an article, and it was talking about how, like, a German magazine publication picked up this news, and I was like, and they were pissed, and I was like, you fucked up with Germany. He's like, dude, what the fuck?
We're trying to fucking get away
I've
from this
apologized for 70 fucking years, and you set us back, you sons of
I mean,
bitches.
dude, think about what WWE's done now to Germany. They sent JBL over there, and he cuts this insane promo.
I forgot
And now
about
they're
that
doing
promo.
this. Like,
What's up? What's wrong with Vince, bro?
I
What's up
The
with
mean,
him?
entire country of Germany is all elite.
I don't want Pat to repeat what he said in our group chat, but just know he had said something that was very funny, and then I just said, in my mind, I was like, as Vince is tightening his do-rag, it was just like, it is what it is, playa.
Good God
Oh
Almighty!
man. So what else has happened this week? I feel like that's just like taken over my
In
whole
wrestling-
frontal lobe.
In wrestling adjacent news,
Mm-hmm.
Every Time I Die broke up this week, fellas, and that is hard. Or it is wrestling adjacent because Andy Williams, the Butcher in AEW, is one of their guys, right?
I woke up to a message from one of my friends going, do you know if anyone would want a Butcher and the Blade shirt? Because he's like, I am pro fucking Keith on this whole thing. And I was like, Jesus.
Dude, there's a lot of
if it's an
people that
XL,
are,
tell
man.
him, send him over my damn address.
So I'll message him.
Yeah, it's some messy shit, man. I don't want to get involved in band drama. I don't know the allegeds. I just know what people
Yeah,
say, so I'm
it's-
just keep my mouth shut
You
on
know,
that.
you have a band that had changed the hearts of a lot of people for many years, and it got kind of messy towards the end.
One of the first bands I ever marched to was Every Time I Die.
Very sick.
Yeah.
Band rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite bands of all time. I even have an Every Time I Die tattoo. Radical coming out this year, I think is or last year. I believe is one of the best records of the year. That band resonated with me when I was really young, and Butcher being in WWE has been insane, or played rather.
AEW.
AEW. And it's just been insane, like seeing the crossover that it's had in my life between the two coming together. Like the first time I ever head walked was to Board Stiff at a Warped Tour and I was a child, and every time I saw that band, it was my goal to do that exact thing over and over and over again. And I've never missed the chance to do it. So knowing that I probably will never get that chance again really sucks. Growing up sucks. Don't let bands be heroes, because someone's bound to fuck it up for you.
Yep.
And I'm not going to go into what happened and whatnot. Yeah. It's all alleged, and it's 4 people's accounts versus 1 person. And I don't want to go into any of it. But if you look into all the statements, just look at it from a person not in that band.
Yeah.
It's over. There's not a whole lot of reason to dwell on it or make it harder for the individuals that are involved. Like picking at everybody and being like, why not be friends, or why not continue and just not be around each other? Like, they tried that. They've done that for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, Keith has traveled by himself for years now.
Yeah.
So it's not working, and it didn't work, and it sucks, man. I'm sad to see it.
From the last time that we did a podcast, Brody King debuted in AEW.
I was about to say, one band to another band.
Yeah. Very sick. He just had his televised wrestling debut actually tonight. We're recording on Wednesday the 19th, right after Dynamite. And it fucking rocked. That match
was sick.
Super cool.
The entrance was incredible.
Oh, man. I saw somebody say, I don't really like it. And I was like, oh, wow. Imagine being that fucking wrong publicly. It rocked. It was awesome. Brody King, I feel like, is such a massively valuable asset for the company.
Absolutely.
And for a company that's gotten a lot of flack for only pulling in ex-WWE guys, I would argue, off of the top of my head, he's probably the biggest asset that they've had non-WWE wise come in.
Yeah. And it's funny to see the internet be really upset and being like, because it's always either AEW is just a bunch of people that couldn't cut it in WWE, and then there's the people that are like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't fucking care. And it's like, well, choose a side. Do you like indie wrestling, or do you strictly like WWE?
The banter back and
forth. They
can't
do fucking anything right under fucking pro wrestling internet's bullshit.
Dude, I get lost in that shit all the time. It's just not worth it, dude.
The banter back and forth after he made his debut last week was so funny, because it was just that. It was a bunch of people being like, who? And then everyone's like, so do you just don't give a shit about like this? Because like he's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Like
everywhere.
Like, I think like the weekend prior he was doing New Japan shit. Like
literally.
Like he's everywhere right now. He made a huge splash
with Tomohiro Ishii. Like
that match was so sick
on New Japan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for who they're teasing to be the third person. Whoever that may be, we found out tonight. It seems like it won't be Pac. Still could be in the end. But I enjoy the slow build in the story. I feel like rushing it is not going to do it great justice. It really needs time to fester and to really get people behind it, people to really care about it.
Well, they're kind of going, it's like, it just feels like it's like such an artistic way of going about it, to where it's like, it's not necessarily like, oh, like, we just don't like each other, or blah, 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 or we've had all this history. It's like, they're like literally allowing this like really like in-depth like story, like really intricate storyline to happen, and it's like almost kind of enjoyable to like just watch it happen, because no one else is fucking doing it.
Because it feels like a different show, right? Like whenever they're on the screen, it turns into this like ambiance, like it feels like a completely different product.
Yeah.
And that's what's so captivating about it, because you feel like you can't look away whenever it's about to come up. Like even whenever they're doing like little bottom of the screen, like still to come, this matchup, and everything looks the same. And then you have House of Black, and it's a different logo, it's a different font, it's a different feel to the screen.
It's giving Ministry vibes.
It's like, real Ministry of Darkness shit.
It's giving Ministry vibes.
Well, because like with like the promos before Brody came there, like we all kind of just like knew that Brody was gonna come, because it just made sense, and like they're tag team champions with PWG and stuff. Like, they have that history. So we were all like, yeah, this makes fucking sense. But like, even the promos are fucking done differently. Like, all of the like extra, like the tarot cards and everything that they use in those is just so much different. And then, like, granted, Brody himself is a large fucking human being. Like, I don't, for people that have not,
they said 299.
For people that haven't seen him in person, he's fucking like 6'6".
He's huge.
The big fucking guy.
He's like 6'6". He's fucking 300 fucking pounds. And
he
the
shot
man,
me right out of the air one time during Alpha and Omega.
A friend of mine got his fucking face broken at a show from him on accident. I'm not gonna say it wasn't on purpose, but like, he's an agile big dude, and like, so like, he covered in tattoos obviously commands like the fucking all eyes on him. But then you have someone that like is so tenured in Alistair or fucking Malachi now. It's just, I'm so used to saying Alistair. That like,
they're both sick names.
He commands like a different type of presence, because it almost is just like the aura around him. So like, watching them together, you're just like, I can't look away from this, because like, it's just fucking tight. And then you just get to watch them beat the shit out of two blonde boys for a couple minutes, and you're like,
that shit was awesome.
It was fucking great.
Even though Brody, what's God, I can't even. Stu.
Is it Stu? I'm wrong.
The other dude, not
Grace.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Griff Garrison.
Griff Garrison.
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Hey man, everyone's got names so close to each other.
Griff Garrison. Salem, North Carolina royalty. Griff Garrison.
Griff Garrison's head smacked off them fucking steps like a goddamn tennis racket.
He hit. I was like, oh, that's bad. He killed him. Like, he's going to kill him.
I was like, I don't know if he meant to lean that hard into those steps.
I don't know what it is, man. Last week, it was the fucking cannonball on Brian Pillman that I was like, oh, he actually killed him. Like, he's dead.
Because he's too fucking big to do that. And you're just like, that
he ran like a secret agent. Go back and watch that for his debut. He runs like it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, man. He looks like a Spy Kids. Like, he's fucking hauling ass.
Yeah.
And then this week, he just is like, oh, you're kind of tall, and I'm just going to beat the piss out of you. And just fucks Griff Garrison up. It was awesome. We love Brody King here at the Up and Over podcast.
Yes, we do.
Yes. And we would be remiss if we're going to mention this Dynamite and not talk about Cody Rhodes doing potentially... Right.
Wait.
You upset, bud?
What, Mike? What
was the other thing?
I thought we were getting into how awesome it was to get a fucking John Moxley return tonight. But what the fuck do I know? Right? What do I know? Let's cover the Cody Rhodes stuff first, because it did rock. It was fucking awesome.
It's the first time that anyone could say something positive about him. So like,
I'm trying to get
let him have his moment.
Cody broke down the wall for this promo. He mentioned you wonder why I don't want to turn heel. He made comments about speaking of Brody. He said it takes balls for someone to come to this company under the name of Brody.
That was cool as fuck.
Which is a really cool thing. I recommend going back if you haven't heard that promo. It's probably one of Cody's best, definitely his best in AEW, top 5 of his career. It seemed like he meant every word that he said. And it was really cool for me, man. Like, I really enjoyed this promo. I feel like him getting booed as soon as he walks in, starts cutting the promo, and he gets a shut the fuck up chant. And then within about 30, 45 seconds in, everyone's cheering, and you get them to boo you again before your promo's over. It's so rare to find someone who can do that. And Cody's one of those people. So to see him pull it off again, it's cool, man. I'm really interested to see him do whatever he's about to do. Hopefully this unification of the interim TNT and the TNT championship will get us heel Cody. I mean, one can only hope, right?
Yeah.
And it can be slow. It doesn't have to be fast. I think a simple roll-up holding of the tights on Sammy will do just fine. Small shit like that. So, yeah, man, I'm interested to see it. What did you take away from the promo, Mike?
Cody's name on Twitter is currently AEW Community Outreach, and
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know how to. Pull up your phone and look it up, Casey. If you think I'm lying to you, it's AEW Community Outreach.
It fucking really is. I got Cody out, and it just says AEW Community Outreach.
Yeah, am I spelling Cody's name wrong?
Yeah, man. He typed in Chody.
Cody Rhodes.
How have we not thought of that as a name for him?
Chody is good. So
AEW
they confiscated
Community Outreach with the verified check.
They confiscated at Battle of the Belts. They confiscated a sign that was a Cody Rhodes head, and it just had a demon like drawn on it. It was fucking good stuff, man.
That's awesome.
I bet I can find it. It was so funny. Dude, I
sick.
thought the Cody promo was awesome. I don't know what it leads to, because at first it was like, oh, he's turning heel right now, like he's doing it, and he was like, as soon as I had that thought, he was like, and you motherfuckers want me to turn heel. I was like, oh man, like never mind.
There we
It's
go.
gonna be white meat babyface Cody, always working from behind. But I don't know, man. The little subtle jab of getting a contract in the mail, but not the right contract from Tony Khan when it was reported he's working as a free agent. Good shit. Cody Rhodes, I actually got a text from somebody tonight. My friend Cameron texted me and said, I can't pay attention to the Cody stuff. Like, it just does nothing for me. Like, he's boring. And I was like, I think I dislike Cody so much that I've started to care about everything Cody does.
Yeah.
I think it's just taken a little bit to get there. And I don't think I'm the only one.
Yeah.
I think Cody's starting to become compelling in him being that shitty tweener guy that wants to be the baby face but just naturally isn't.
Yeah.
Man, I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better segments of tonight. I thought Cody crushed it. Pat messaged the group chat because he climbed up on the ladder. They're having a ladder match next week at Beach Break, Sammy and Cody. And Pat just goes, I would die if Cody fell. And my immediate reaction was, Cody would die too, but it's just a ladder fall. So I sat there real upset at myself, but it's fine.
I just love them shoes ain't meant to climb ladders.
Yeah, them shoes ain't meant for climbing, brother. It was. I don't know.
Shout out to Cody's tie.
Yeah, Cody's tie.
Cody's tie looked
Dude,
like
I
a
was
honky tonk
screaming down the hallway because Pat ran down the hallway to grab something from the room. And I was like, Pat, you have to come here and look at this fucking tie right now.
This goddamn tie.
And by the time he got there and looked at his phone, there was already like 10 messages in the group chat. And I was like, that fucking tie is horrendous.
Let's really quick. Let's talk about the question that you had in the podcast. Terry Funk at 52 or Sting at 52?
Oh man.
Okay, hold on. For context, for anyone that's listening that wants to weigh in on this, at Hardcore Heaven 97, Terry Funk is what, 53? 52,
right
53 years old?
Right at
53.
Cool. If you ever watched TNA in 2012 when Sting turned into the Joker, he was also 52. So you've got Terry Funk 97-96 versus fucking Joker Sting. Which one you got there?
The Funker.
And
I don't know who I'm taking because this main event sucked booty cheeks.
If they're in a match together, in a match together, I'm going Sting because Joker Sting's fucking crazy.
Why are we killing Terry Funk to sell tickets, man?
If I have to wrestle one of the two, I'm going against Terry because he gets tired. And you'll understand that when we cover that fucking match.
Oh my god.
Terry Funk is timeless, and when Terry Funk dies, it's the equivalent of wrestling Betty White dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally.
Let's get into this week's. Oh wait, hold on, real quick. John Moxley back on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah,
glad to see Mox back. Cut an awesome promo. Told somebody to fuck off, and didn't get the censor button.
Did you hear what that guy said?
Go get a drink. Get this garbage out the ring, right?
No.
And he's like leans over and just goes, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, he pauses and he's like, "All right, let me just not say what I want. Actually, fuck that guy. Get his ass out of here." Like, it was, yeah. At least that's what I heard. What did you hear, Pat?
I heard. What the fuck did I hear? Sorry.
He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh yeah, no. The dude said, because some guy on Twitter pulled the video up. The dude said, "Hey, yo, what the fuck is this? Get this piece of trash out the ring."
So loud. It was so
loud, dude.
It
He's the
was
only person who heard.
The
abrupt.
whole crowd just gets like, they're starting to settle because they're like, "Oh fuck, Moxie's gonna cut his promo. It's the first time in a couple months," and this guy's like, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah,
Wow.
God.
Yeah. Anyway, Mox's promo tonight fucking rocked.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Seeing Mox back and not so swollen. He didn't even realize how swollen he was, man. But he looked way better.
Yeah.
And as weird as it is, like his hairline is coming back. That was like the one thing that I noticed. Like his hair was coming in more full down low. He just looked healthier, man. Like I don't know how to explain
He just looked
it.
better. Yeah.
He just looked better. Glad to see Mox back. Hope that
Hairline
he stays on the
could have
right
been,
path.
No barber.
That's very true. But he also was balding at a very rapid rate when Renee was pregnant. So, yeah. Being a dad, I guess.
Yep.
Although Cortland still has nice, luscious locks. Guys,
I'm getting a lot of grays in here.
Yeah.
Yo, I had grays in my I had grays in my beard the other day. Who am I?
You're still Patty Mills. You're just you've abandoned Scientology, and that's what caused it. Let's get into this pay-per-view. I think it's been 30 minutes that we've been
26
live.
minutes.
Yeah, we're right there.
Hell yeah.
We should probably get on the actual subject. Guys, ECW Hardcore Heaven 1997 took place in August of 1997, August 17th, at the War Memorial Auditorium at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We had 1,800 roughly in attendance. We go live to Joey Styles in ring, welcoming us to Hardcore Heaven 97. Again, I just love how that sounds. He goes over the card for the night, and down comes Rick Rude. Styles essentially retreats as quickly as he can. I did find it funny when he said, "I am well aware of the fact that as big as you are, quite frankly, you could kick my ass."
So I'm gonna leave.
He bails immediately.
Time to hit the old dusted trail.
I'm out of here. Rude cuts a typical heel promo in the crowd, calling them Fat Hicks, and he introduces Chris Candido for his match.
Can we
Commissioner
just quickly talk about the level of quality from Barely Legal to this pay-per-view? Like, it was like immediately I was like, man, this doesn't sound like fucking dog shit. I was so happy.
So, I think this, honestly, production-wise, is a step down in terms of audio, like, volume.
And they might have just turned it down or something, but like it just looked better, it sounded better, and it might have just been like, hey, turn it down a notch. Like,
I actually have it in my notes for the first match, which I'll get to. But Commissioner Todd Gordon comes down and says Rude is not a licensed manager, which is fucking hilarious to think about an ECW having a license to do anything. We're only a year out from the Match Transit incident. Let's put that in perspective. And he says that Rude has to the count of 10 to get to the back before he costs Candido his match. As he goes to the back, you hear him very loudly say, "Fuck you, Todd."
Fuck you, Todd.
And then he says, "Fuck you, Gordon," because I wrote it down. He's like, "Fuck you, Gordon," and just like walks away.
We get our opening promo, and it's just clips of recent wrestling and feud buildups over the ECW theme, and it fucking rules. I don't want it to ever be anything different, ever.
No.
I just want to say, the thing, because I've watched them enough times, the theme song is the fucking it's the greatest but worst fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because you get the guitar and shit, and you hear like fucking Paul Heyman going, "This is extreme!"
And you got the cheesiest riffs, but it's fucking awesome.
Works every time.
But it's sick. I love it. We get Taz defending his ECW World Television Championship against Chris Candido. That's our opener. And I thought it was a pretty effective opener. Here's where that note comes in, Casey. Unfortunately, the crowd noise on recording doesn't sound very sick, but it seemed like they were pretty invested in this match just by their responses with physical.
You could barely hear the crowd from hard cam, but like just collectively it sounded better.
I got you. Pat, what you got, man?
Nothing. We'll talk about it later.
I want you to know that I refer to you and Cortland as the peanut gallery when I talk to Ethan about y'all. Because y'all are always responding to something that's not being said, but being done. Always.
Not currently happening.
It's always. I'll watch Pat just go, and I'm like, dude, you haven't even said anything funny. Like, nothing funny has been said. And that was it right there. Taz hits some awesome Taz plexes throughout this and locks up the Taz mission to retain the TV title. Chris Candido does absolutely nothing for me, so it was hard for me to get invested in this, but it was fun for what it was. Cortland, did you have anything that you wanted to add to it?
It's not a whole lot. I think it's a good storytelling, right? You got the Chris Candido kind of just like trying to make Taz mad. He spit at Taz's face. Taz no-sells it. His response is to drop him on his head for 10 minutes. It's good stuff, man. I really love the commentary in this match. I think Joey Styles does a fantastic job talking about both of their histories with neck injuries. They're both selling the neck. Joey Styles goes in to say, who's better to target a neck than Chris Candido, who just came back from his own neck injury a year ago, right? And it's like almost like a year to the day of his injury.
Yeah.
So like, it's really crazy that we're even seeing this match. Chris Candido's coming back in the health that he's in, and to be against Taz of all people. Chris Candido does a fantastic power bomb in this match. Taz is just that dude, man. He's always in the right place. And it feels like every match that we're going to talk about for ECW is just going to be the same story with Taz, right? It's going to be, he dropped him on his head a lot, and then he wrapped his ass up, and then they tapped out or they passed out, right?
It's almost like he lives off the moniker, beat me if you can.
Survive if I
let you.
It's fantastic, and this match is no different. My rating for this match, if you want me to go ahead and give it to you, is 3 stars flat. I like this match. Chris Candido, like Mike said, didn't do a whole lot for me, but this story was told perfectly. This is a really good opener for what is a promotion's second ever pay-per-view, right? Yeah. So not a whole lot of complaints here. It's good storytelling.
Pat.
I went 2 3/4 on Taz and Chris Candido. I liked the match. I didn't really have too many complaints. It was just like, I don't know. It's Taz, bro. Taz kind of just beat the shit out of Chris for a good fucking solid 10, 15 minutes. There was a point that made me laugh really hard. So Chris Candido has Taz in the ropes, and he's like on the turnbuckle or whatever, and he starts fucking beating him down. And this dude in the crowd, you can hear him like loud as day just go, "Come on, Taz!" And then Chris Candido looks at the crowd and goes, "Yeah, come on, Taz!" But and then also there's a freestyle. I want to say a freestyle bow and arrow that Taz puts Chris Candido in, and I thought he was literally gonna break his fucking leg in half. It was pretty like he had his leg like next to his fucking literal ear. It was crazy as shit. So I mean, like, no complaints. The match is pretty good. I gave it 2 3.
Casey.
I gave it 3 1/4. I thought it was a great way to start it off. I like the fact that, like, even though Taz is like, if you're gonna put technicalities on things or put labels on him, he's technically a heel, but he's basically facing a chicken shit heel in Chris Candido the whole time. At one point, Taz delivers a fucking what Taz plex is it? A pump handle Taz plex.
Yeah.
He rolls out of the ring. The crowd starts yelling at Candido, and he just fucking yells "fuck you" to him really loud. Like, he's like, they're like telling him to get back in. He turns around and he's like, "Fuck you," and like hits it on his own time. And then like a couple of seconds later, he's on the opposite side of the ring laying down, and Taz is yelling, "Get up, you pussy!" Like, it's a clusterfuck from start to finish. Also, Taz has probably one of the best Northern Light suplexes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Absolutely.
Every time it happens, I have to make note of it because I'm just like, it's so perfect.
We call it in this house every time. As soon as he like As soon as his arms touch, Pat and I just scream like, "Go
But yeah, I thought it was a good way to start it. It's weird that they consider this one of the 3 main events of the night, and it's the opening match. So I'm just like, okay, like that's kind of weird to bill it as such, but hey, it was a good opener.
Joey Styles says a lot of people do suplexes, but only one man in wrestling does Tazplexes, and Chris Candido's finding that out tonight. There was a top rope belly-to-belly Tazplex, and if I ever call a suplex that Taz does a suplex, I'm going to want to beat my own ass. He does a belly-to-belly Tazplex, and they show it on slow-mo after, like on a replay after the match. And he is fully bent backwards. Like his head is like lower than his feet are. And he's fucking coming off the top rope. Taz is a gem, and this ruled. I went 3 flat. I wanted to go higher because I wanted to also go higher on the next match. But I went 3 flat. I thought it was good. After the match, you have Joey Styles saying that you have to see ECW live to see what happens before cameras are rolling. They then recap Extreme Rap Group, Insane Clown Posse coming to the ring, hyping the crowd up. Rob Van Dam and Bill Alfonso hit the ring, and ICP welcomed them and hyped the crowd up for them. Van Dam then kills Violent J. And
yo, he does a spin kick into Violent J's face, and you hear his nose fucking shatter. It is the loudest crack I've ever fucking heard. It's
so bad. And then he holds Shaggy 2-Dope in a half camel clutch as Sabu shows up in business attire.
He's wearing a suit.
And hits the shittiest springboard back elbow into a chair into Shaggy's face.
It's a second rope. It's a second rope springboard.
He comes back around and like leaps in front of him and realizes that like him hitting this rope over here, like on hard cam, isn't gonna work for what he wants. So he kind of just like leaps into
he does
it.
like
And
he does a second rope springboard back elbow, but like so like remember how last week I was like I gave Sabu some praises because I was like he didn't fuck up any of his springboards in match. Not the case tonight.
I think he's just a guy that wants to be more agile than he is.
He's really excited, and I think he gets his timing wrong way too often.
That's fair.
He just likes to do them, and they're cool as shit. But 9 times out of 10, he's coming in way too fucking fast, and he just slips. Like it's not his fault.
So like a spot like that, dude, it's so easy to be like hit the rope, low ball drop kick.
He's in a suit as well,
but he's like no, second, third rope, back flip, roll.
It was sick, and I just thought it was funny the parallel of Cody Rhodes climbing a ladder in the same exact shoes that Sabu had on for this springboard.
Why was he wearing a suit?
Yeah, dude, it made me so uncomfortable.
Ring gear, but like, why was he wearing a fucking blazer?
But I thought it was awesome.
That's the thing. It's like ECW is like the first time we see Sabu, I want him in a fucking straight jacket with chains. And we're just going to bring him out like this fucking monster. And about a year later, he's going to come out in a suit. Have fun. What?
We'll figure it out.
Character development.
Damn it, man.
He got
they
out
kind of
Sabu.
They end the pre-recorded video pretty abruptly, and we'll get to why later. We then have Spike Dudley versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
Little Spike Dudley.
I apologize.
LSD.
Is there a better fit than his fit in 97?
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
It's the flyest shit ever.
It's so
it's
cool.
Sick. This was nothing short of a fucking car crash for poor Spike. He hits an acid drop early, and then Bam Bam tries to fucking kill him. Bam Bam effectively tries to commit murder in the ring. Yeah. Between the Beal, the power bomb, which Cortland, I don't know if you noticed, but I smiled when you said power bomb earlier.
Yeah.
And why I smiled is because Bam Bam was trying to powerbomb Spike to the center of the earth.
Okay, so I wrote this in my notes, and we're talking about it now. This is the most disrespectful fucking powerbomb I've ever seen.
This is
Bam
one of the most disrespectful squash matches I've ever fucking seen.
Okay, he picks up little Spike Dudley, has him in a powerbomb. He arches his fucking back. He leans backward and fucking throws him as hard as he fucking can through the ring. Like, he was like, I want to see if I can put him through this fucking ring.
Yeah, and he
it
tried.
looks so painful.
We then have a gorilla press face buster to the turnbuckle on the outside.
Yeah.
And then the fucking gorilla press tossing Spike into the goddamn crowd.
Yep.
And before the beginning of this match, before they even touch each other, Bam Bam turns to the crowd and says, "Who wants this little bitch?" And the whole crowd like,
he goes, he fucking Hulk Hogan points to each side of the fucking ring, and it's like, "Do you want him? Do you want him?" And the whole crowd is like, "Throw that tiny man in our direction, please!"
Yeah.
Like, they're so excited for it.
Bonkers.
Awesome.
Newsflash: no one fucking caught him.
No.
He gets caught eventually in another time that they do it, but this one, he gets fucking just yeeted into the third row, and not a single fucking got him.
The crowd to the left of the hard cam was just like, how about we all move and just let him die? Bam Bam wins
like a Warped
this.
Tour set. I'm not catching.
Bam Bam wins via a moonsault.
It's a beautiful fucking moonsault from a dude that's 360 pounds.
This was awesome.
But the
This was
120-pound Spike.
So
Yeah.
Dude, this was as good a novelty match as it possibly could have been.
Yeah.
So much so,
Yeah.
I thought about going a full 3/4 star higher than I did at a 3.5. But I went 2 3/4 on it. I thought it was awesome for what it was. It's hard for me to go above 3 because it was literally just an ass beating. And I feel like if I go above a 3, I might be charged with potential like accessory to an assault. And I don't want that. Casey, since you are Bam Bam Bigelow's long lost son, I would like to know what your rating was.
First and foremost, today is the 15-year anniversary of his passing. So we love Bam
R.I.P.
Bam.
We remember Bam Bam.
You think Bam Bam with that power bomb took 15 years off of Spike's life?
Probably. Not as much as the one where he gets his head fucking almost decapitated against La Resistance.
That one's
but like, it's
so
a close
painful.
second.
Yeah, this one is just physical pain.
This is just like, yeah.
Really?
Okay, so basically for anyone that hasn't watched it, I recommend to watch it because it's fucking hilarious. So a week earlier on ECW television, Spike got like a roll up on Bam Bam and won. And so Bam Bam's out for fucking blood. First of all, Spike Dudley's entrance is one of the greatest things ever because he comes out with like a chair and he's fucking throwing it at the crowd and shit. It's
sick.
the most fired up thing in the world.
I love it.
We didn't cover when he does the Gorilla Press Slam onto the turnbuckle. Spike's head catches something and he is fucking
Leaking.
pouring blood.
Yeah.
Also, after he gets yeeted into the third row, Bam Bam does the most graceful cartwheel I've ever seen. he does a cartwheel to land,
Did I pay
and,
attention to that?
and he like lands on like just like his knee, like he's like proposing, and he's like ta-da, and the whole crowd was like, "This is fucking great." They're like, he just threw a tiny little man into the crowd. He does a fucking cartwheel. They're like, "This is fucking amazing."
ECW Hardcore Heaven. I'm gonna watch that as you guys are talking about this.
I will
I need to see the
give all the flack for it. I don't care. I am biased as shit when it comes to Bam Bam. I gave this 3.5 stars because I fucking laughed the entire time.
Yeah.
This is the most enjoyment I had this entire pay-per-view. Was just watching this because it was so just not fair. Like, he takes Spike at the beginning and he grabs him by his head and he fucking just like tosses him halfway across the ring. They have multiple matches on pay-per-views and it's fucking great. It's so wonderful. Pat, what'd you give it?
I'm gonna go. I went 3. I'm gonna stick at 3. It's not too much to add. This match was just fucking crazy, dude. I mean, it starts off with Spike Dudley getting slammed on his fucking head.
Yeah.
And it just gradually gets worse and worse and worse. We haven't mentioned the gorilla press to the turnbuckle, which was literally to the turnbuckle, not the padding of the turnbuckle.
It was to the outside.
He literally crosses him over the he's like fucking 4 or 5 feet away from the turnbuckle, throws him, misses the padding, misses like the little connecting link, hits the post.
It's the post. But when he picks him up, he literally picks him up by his overalls and curls his wrist as he lifts him up and throws him into this shit. And it's just like
because otherworldly strength.
Spike weighs less than Bam Bam's warm-up weight. Like, he's so light in compare. Like, I want to know who the fuck was like, hey, listen, we have a 360-pound man, and we have a fucking person looks like he's in middle school, and we want them to fight. And everyone was like, that sounds good to me.
That sounds like a great idea.
That's money, brother.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was great, man. It's an ass whooping and a half. I fucking recommend it if you want to watch some entertaining shit. That's the one to go to. Nothing else.
Portland.
I gave this match 2 3/4. It's hard to say anything that hasn't already been said. When it comes to ECW, people that get beat up the best, I said it last week, it's Steven Richards and Spike Dudley. No one gets beat up better than these two. And this proves it again that Spike Dudley is one of those guys that's going to humbly get his ass whooped. Yeah. And he's probably going to hug you when he gets into the back room. Thank you for being there and wrestling him. Yep. Spike's one of those dudes that is always super cool. You got something?
I just remembered. Okay, so it's going to go the power bomb, the La Resistance table spot, and then Undertaker chokeslamming him from the ring to the outside of the floor.
Outside onto nothing, just onto the floor.
You're like, he can take a beat, and am I playing a fucking clip in my head of him just getting his ass beat? And then I got to him getting chokeslammed to the fucking floor.
Hard.
So this is like Raw. That's like 03, right? So like everyone knows the difference between like the ring and that like the fans barricade wall, right? So he chokeslams Spike Dudley's little ass, and he hits like, I don't know, like 2 feet over from the ring apron, right? But he hits so hard he bounces all the way to the wall.
Once again,
like,
the ring is what you would say about 3.5, 4 feet off the ground at least. Yeah,
at least.
Undertaker's about 7
above
feet fucking tall,
and you're going above the ropes.
He's getting picked up, so he's probably about 8.5, 9 feet in the air if you're looking at it.
12 to 13 feet. Let's call it between 12 and 15 feet in the air.
And it's not like it's not like a ladder spot where he's like gradually kind of falling at like a momentum. He's getting fucking chokeslammed to the floor. Like,
and it wasn't one of those like releases. He picked him up and chokeslammed his ass down.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Long live Spike Dudley.
I just watched. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just going to wrap it up. I don't want to give a squash match a 3 or really above that just because it's hard. This is super entertaining, however. The crowd is super entertained by it. And so was I. 2 3/4. You want to watch a glorified squash match or just someone getting assaulted and getting paid for it, this is that match, man.
There's just so everyone knows, there's an asterisk next to mine because I'm just biased and it made me laugh too much. Like, it doesn't deserve a 3.5, but fuck it.
I want to go 3 because that cartwheel is fucking graceful.
It's awesome.
It's like he goes.
So in his so for a period of time when he wasn't really doing anything like stateside, Bam Bam and Vader were a tag team in Japan. And those two fuckers fucked around so much, and he would cartwheel like every match. It was like a spot because it's a giant man in Japan wrestling Japanese wrestlers, and he would hit the ropes super hard, and then he would cartwheel, and then everyone would be like, "What the fuck?" Like they would do like standing like moonsaults in the ring and shit. Like it's wild. Like, I love the dude,
sick.
but yeah, like that cartwheel alone, I was like, that's a half a star. I don't care.
I want to go higher, but again, if I go to a 3, I will get charged with the accessory to an assault, and I don't want that. This fucking rocked, though. After the match, we get back to the ICP thing. Sandman is shown coming down to rescue as Insane Clown Posse, but as he gets there, he just gets annihilated pretty much immediately. RVD gets him in this fucking, like, lock and pulls him back.
Yeah.
And Sabu just decides to commit actual murder.
Yeah.
This was just violent. The intro of this, like, the first hour of this entire pay-per-view is violence, man. They show Sandman being loaded into an ambulance. And then we jump to the next match, which was Rob Van Dam with
I got a question before we leave this. Why the fuck did they split this up? This happened. This is all one shoot, right?
Right.
Like this whole rewind.
No, it's
Why
a
are we
seamless
splitting
thing.
it up in between matches?
They couldn't have the violence outdone by Spike and Bam Bam, so they put it in the middle.
I think
So then
it
why
was-
wouldn't you run the whole thing after that match instead of splitting it up? It just makes no sense for, like, when you cut it the first time, it's Sabu in a suit, right?
Yeah.
And then it just cuts, and then it comes back, and we're Sabu in the suit and RVD in the ring, and IceP's beat up. Like, we jump from that to a match right back to it. It just doesn't make sense, man. Like, I feel like
still
they're
new.
gonna
They
just
don't
put it
know
all
what
together.
they're doing. It's fine. They just
was,
they're
yeah,
like,
but
they're
all the
winging
time
it.
that you spend on these fucking helicopter promos, you could have spent, I don't know, 30 seconds to put the videos together.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all had to take your time to edit the videos.
Yeah, they
Just
did.
text it together.
like, why?
They just didn't have enough time,
Why?
Portland.
It makes zero sense.
They were like cutting it together, and there's like, "Do you want 1 or 2?" And Paul didn't answer. He's like, "I'm gonna make it 2. We'll make it
I
2.
just
What
wanna
was
I
my-
clarify.
want 2 segments for myself tonight.
I just want to clarify, this is root beer, for the good children out there.
Uncle
Stay safe.
Scott's.
Yeah.
We get Rob Van Dam with Bel Alfonso versus Al Snow. This match was fun, man. I enjoyed it a lot. Van Dam looked excellent in this, and Al Snow showed that he was like a fucking good wrestler, which was weird that Joey Styles was like, he's a wrestler's wrestler, and we are a year off from him debuting in WWF with Head, and
Well,
that
so,
being his gimmick.
It's like weird because like at the time he's actually still under contract as like Leaf Cassidy or whatever the fuck his name is, like with the WWF. He doesn't actually get released until like a month after Hardcore Heaven. And he's currently doing the New Rockers gimmick with Marty Jannetty. And I feel like the way he was trying, like at least like the way that Joey was trying to explain it was like this guy can wrestle. Like if you've seen him on a Raw or whatever, he's like, this is not, like, you're not getting like actual like Al Snow. And like it is weird because like he actually comes out wearing like the New Rockers like singlet. It's fucking just weird. And then it's like, give it a little bit of time. He's writing fucking "help me" backwards on his head.
Yeah.
We're not far from that.
So, like, speaking of the Rockers thing, is Al Snow the partner of Jannetty before or after Bob Holly?
I think Bob comes in after, because like I'd have to double check like how long the New Rockers went for, because like I said, like Al gets cut very shortly after this run, and then that's
I
when he
remember it
rebuilds
not
Al
being
Snow.
long.
No, so I think it's right before, then they try it with Bob, and then Bob becomes fucking Hardcore Holly, and it's a fucking disaster all around. But I think it's how
Shout out to Alabama Slam though.
Oh, God.
Badass. Sorry.
God, fuck.
What, y'all don't like simple wrestling moves?
Well, that
I just
slam
remember
is
when the Alabama
aggressive.
Slam was like Bob Holly was trying to commit murder with those things.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting
Especially when
CTE.
he wasn't grabbing
Dude.
that. He wasn't grabbing your
The
legs. He
Alabama
was
Slam was
slamming
just
them.
fucking dangerous.
Yeah, he was like forward momentum.
Yeah, just like
right. Anyway, I mean this with the most love I can possibly mean it with. Watching matches with Fonzie at ringside is almost insufferable.
It's fucking awful.
It pisses me off.
Dude, But it's endearing because it's Bill
I mute
Alfonso.
half of them.
Dude, it is fucked.
I don't remember what match it is, so I don't want to spoil anything, whatever. But at one particular point, Bill is doing his whistle blows, and someone in the crowd also has a whistle. And when Bill stops, he blows his whistle, and he fucking whips his head around to the crowd and goes, and he like tries to get like security to go handle him. I'm like, no, you're fucking annoying, like with this fucking whistle for a 20-minute long match. I need you to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Alfonso. It's pain, and I know that that's what we're signed up for currently. So that's gonna be my one gripe every week is Bill Alfonso's whistle because it is fucking brutal.
I tried to get out of the way last week and just try to do it the one time, but it's not gonna be possible. It's fucking bad every week. Nope, we're gonna complain.
Van Dam wins via a Van Daminator. I went 3 flat on it. I thought it was a fine match. I enjoyed it for what it was. Let's go to Pat.
I went 3 1/4 for Al Snow and RVD. One thing we didn't touch on was Al Snow's entrance. I don't know if you guys noticed that 2-shot bump that he did as soon as he fucking
hilarious.
He literally goes dump with both nostrils, then turns around and has this just geeked out look on his face, and like the whole,
it's awesome.
It's fucking crazy as shit. And I mean that shit had me dying. That shit made me pop. Honestly, I was like, Al Snow's fucking wall out. And then the match was great itself. Like there's a lot of good spots. I feel like there was a little bit that could have been trimmed from it. I feel like it was a little too long, but I mean, I'm not complaining of the length of the match. And the ending was sick. I love that Van Daminator at the end. I love the ref selling the Van Daminator like, shit, what the fuck was that? And then it just 3 count. That shit was cool. I enjoyed it.
It's not just a small bump that he does, my friend. He is like,
boom, boom, like double.
Yeah, they're there.
He walks out. He's like wall of fans right here.
Yeah, he's like,
whoa! I didn't expect
shit.
this one to look like this.
Right. So 3 1/4 from Pat. Cortland, you are right next to him, my friend. What'd you go?
I went the same thing, 3 1/4. I enjoyed this match. I feel like you really get to see Al Snow wrestle here. You get the little bit of Al Snow be like looking at RVD being like, I can do half of your moveset too. You get the standing moonsault from Al Snow. That looked really cool. You get the snow plow, which love to see it. Them calling it snow DDT. Love it. There's a lot of cool stuff in here, and I'm glad that all the near falls were actual near falls for good moves, for solid moves that could be used as finishers. And you got the Van Daminator at the end. So it's really hard to take anything bad from this match other than like you could have, like Pat said, could have shaved off a minute. You could feel the crowd start to be like, all right, let's move it along. But as soon as they felt him and they got out of there, good. Yeah. So 3 1/4 all around. Wish we got more of these matches.
Yeah. Casey, what you got?
I gave it a gentleman's 3. I feel like we're all in the same boat where it's like, I kind of got a little like, all right, let's fucking wrap it up, boys. There was one spot where RVD's on the second turnbuckle, and I don't know what he's going for, but he gets drop kicked to the outside, and he kind of tumbles onto the apron, onto the timekeeper's table, and then down onto the floor. And I was like, all right, dramatic. Like the way he did it was so.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Like,
he like killed that table, and then Al Snow comes tumbling out the ring right after.
It was just like the way he did it. I was like, he just like was like, oh, let me see how many things I can fucking fall on before I actually hit the floor. I was like, all right, geez. Also, like, I don't know, like, okay, so like, I feel like we all do watch pretty much almost all of these on Peacock. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know if it was this actually happened or if it was just Peacock, but like, he comes out to the ECW theme. Like, that's what RVD's coming out to right now. Like, it's just extreme. Like, it's in the background. I'm like, why doesn't he have his theme song here? Like, what the fuck happened? Like,
I'm pretty sure it's just WWE has always dubbed over like 90% of ECW music because it was all unlicensed. Like, I know for a while, I'm pretty sure RVD was coming out to like Black Sabbath, and
at the last one,
something else like Pantera, maybe.
Well,
was it Pantera?
Let's see if I can download ECW
unless they like
original rips.
Unless they redid it on On
So I
Barely
know that like
Legal,
Sandman came out to enter Sandman.
yeah.
And like I forgot who else. Like there was a lot of people that had
Well,
like
so-
actual songs. Like
So he came out to Enter
Bald
Sandman.
Mahoney had like a Misfits song, right?
Well, so
Yeah.
he also came out to fucking like I forgot. I think it's a Dawkins song. That's like Balls or whatever. Spike came out to one too. What the fuck was Spike's at the time? Because Spike's was a rip of something. Tommy Dreamer's,
Wasn't it Highway to Hell? Am I
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I was
he
gonna
was,
say, it's
he
like
was
that.
Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dreamer basically
It's
comes
so
out
sick.
to Man in the Box from fucking Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains,
So it's like it's a lot of like karaoke versions of them or whatever. But I thought at the last on Barely Legal, RVD was coming out to like that surfer rip that he had.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
I remember a lot of people using Metallica. Like someone
Yeah.
used a riff of "Sad but True" at some point. That's just hard.
But yeah, like it was fine. Like I said, like I almost was. I think I appreciated like the Styles talking about Al Snow and like beforehand, because I even like did a little bit of research. Like, oh fuck, I was like, why? Like, is he talking about it? Because like there's a weird overlap because we're having this like weird WWF ECW relationship where they're like, you use this guy, we'll use him, like kind of a thing. And then it was like they let him go a little bit while later, anyways. And then yeah, we end up getting fucking Mannequin Head shortly after. So, but yeah, it was fine.
Which is
I just
worth
wanted-
money.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be known. I found 1997 to 2001 ECW original rips that I
Ooh.
am legally downloading right now. Legal, totally legal. So, any of the segments that we miss, you guys are gonna have to let me know from now on,
Lord.
because they might cut a lot of the shit off on Peacock. But
Oh, they cut out a lot.
Yeah.
I will come prepped.
Cuts out most promos of ECW, especially like hardcore TV. They cut out a lot of promos. Like the last pay per view we did, they cut out all of Terry Funk's promos in that pay per view, and he had two, and he had one on the pre show.
And then they dubbed
And they
over,
just completely were like, "Yep."
and they dubbed over fucking Sandman's on that one too. So it's like it's a clusterfuck all around. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just ECW product. They did it with their own product through the Peacock. Like they did it for some of the stuff for 2003 and the Reign of Terror that we covered. Like they cut out like a
licensing
Scott
issues,
Steiner
though, right?
promo at
Well,
SummerSlam, I think.
You got licensing issues, and you're just trying to scrub some of the not great shit that's
How dare
happened.
How dare you cut a promo from the Big Booty Daddy?
I don't even want to have this conversation at this point.
Big
I'm
God
tired.
damn it.
Booty
That's
Daddy.
what I'll say. After this match, we have
Helicopter.
I'm gonna read my notes as I have it. Here's my notes as I have it. There's a helicopter chasing the ambulance Sandman is in. He's headed back to the venue.
But
That's all I have.
Bro, they
Oh,
said that the ambulance stopped for a case of beer and a pack of carton cigarettes.
I think that's later. I think that's later on. But yeah, my note literally is Sandman stole the ambulance. How the fuck did ECW get a helicopter? It's so confusing, dude.
and like this man stole an ambulance. Where are the police? Where is the helicopter that could
He
be
stole
chasing him,
he
actually?
stole an ambulance and the fucking lights are on. So you're literally just watching a fucking ambulance with its fucking lights, and I'm assuming sirens, because if Sandman's actually driving this, he's gonna turn them off. It's just driving in the streets,
just going in circles? I don't know where I'm going.
driving fucking aimlessly, and
Just
then like
driving
They said he
around
pulled up
the
at a
venue.
different venue, right? They said he pulled up at a
He
different
went to a
venue.
different venue.
he made it all the way to the hospital, stole the ambulance, and then started driving, gets lost for like half of this fucking pay-per-view. And then I'm like, how the fuck did ECW afford a helicopter? Like
This is crazy. The Extreme Chopper.
the Extreme Chopper, yeah, it's fucking good lord. I mean, the thing
And
that
then,
happens out of this isn't better, so
And what's next, Mike?
Oh yeah, we get a Jerry Lawler promo backstage. He says a lot here. He says This is the darkest day in his life to be stuck in this dump with ECW fans. Vince has apparently commended him on his intestinal fortitude to appear, but he is not by himself. The WWF stars were with him in spirit, and he said,
like they're
he said,
dead.
he said the Undertaker told him that he wanted to see Tommy Dreamer rest in peace, and that he wanted him to finish him with a tombstone pile driver.
I'm gonna cut you off there real fast. He said the Undertaker walks up to him, rolls his eyes in the back of his head.
This shit is so bad. Keep going.
I don't even want to finish this. God damn it.
Dude, do it.
Dude, you got to.
Bret Hart rang him up to tell him that he wanted Dreamer tapping out with the sharpshooter. And, in fact, Steve Austin gave the King his consent to unleash the biggest can of whoop ass that he's ever seen on Tommy Dreamer. And he's decided that's exactly what he's going to do.
Dude, listen. So I was high earlier watching this back. And
we were watching it the first time.
I love that. Wait. Pause real quick. I love that Cortland went out of his way to be like, by the way, root beer, not a beer. Then Pat's like, I was high earlier.
Followed up by Cortland being like, we were high both times we fucking watched it, Pat.
Yeah, so we were high the first.
So I'm like, this promo happens, right? And I'm listening to King talk, and I can't help but just like picture King waiting at a payphone for like people to support him because it's like 97. And it's just like Stone Cold calls him up and it's just giving him false advice.
Hey, Brett, I gotta call you back. Stone Cold's gonna call me in a second here.
Oh man!
So
I think that's the most that Pat's
ever
laughed on the podcast. I think that's the funniest thing to Pat so far.
That shit is fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, dude, what a piece of shit!
We cut
and
back
his
to
opponent's no better. Who's his opponent, Mike?
His opponent's Tommy Dreamer, but we're not there yet. God damn it! We cut back to the ring, and it's a fucking loaded ring.
Oh my god!
We have Joel squeeze my lemon till the juice runs down my leg, Gertner. Introducing Jenna Jameson.
Can I say the whole thing?
Yeah, please. Fuck it. Take over the whole. Just ride it out. I don't even want to deal with this shit right now.
We've got Joel Gertner in the ring. If there's one thing more precious than pay-per-view time, it's yours truly, me, myself, and I. Mwah. The quintessential stud muffin. Joel, squeeze the lemon till the juice runs down my leg. Gertner. And then he starts going through. He introduces Jenna Jameson. He introduces...
What does he say about Big Dick Dudley? He says...
I have it. Hold on.
Phallic and metallic.
So he introduces Sign Guy, which Sign Guy speaks in the ring. He actually yells at the crowd, and that fucking shocked the shit out of me because he never talks.
That's Louis Dangerously, baby.
And then he gets to the man with the 25-inch arms and the 14-inch wrists. I swear to God, that's exact. He goes the.
I thought he just said his cock. I'm pretty sure
he says cock. Wrists. He cuts it.
Wrist.
Yeah. And then he's like phallic and metallic, Big Dick Dudley, and then he goes on to
phallic and metallic.
He introduces Jenna Jameson as adult-oriented superstar of film and videography.
And then he goes on to introduce the Dudleys, and then he cuts a promo. He says now that he's like the Dudleys are rated XXX. He goes, let's bring out someone that's a little more PG-13.
Hold up. Well, this is the last time I'm gonna cut this off. It's just something I noticed. So he introduces Big Dick Dudley, right? And Jenna Jameson hears 14-inch cock. She turns her head. Like, literally, she fucking turns her head. She's like, who is he talking about? Big Dick Dudley walks up to Jenna Jameson and does, like, the what's up girl thing. And she tries to flirt with him. This motherfucker takes the belts off his shoulders and puts it on her shoulders and then just walks away.
I love him so much.
Big Dick Dudley, dude.
Mustafa.
He was my hero last week, and he's my hero this week.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the Up Podcast. Mustafa left, so it was the Gangstas that were the champions. Mustafa left ECW, so they got stripped, and they just gave the titles to the Dudleys.
Yeah,
because they were there.
And we get PG-13, which was Memphis guys. What were their names? I know you have them, you piece of shit up there, Casey.
I have Wolfie D, and then fucking it's something Ice or some shit. I didn't write him down.
JC Ice or whatever.
JC Ice, yeah.
It's miserable.
Basically,
yeah,
the
JC Ice.
The backstory is that because we have to deal with Jerry Lawler being on this pay-per-view, PG-13 is from his Memphis promotion, and so basically it was like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, like let them
they
be
would
on
be
here.
from fucking King's promotion.
Bro, like what the fuck, dude?
They called Mama Dudley a hoe.
Yes, twice.
Yep. Then they just made fat jokes. I
That
don't
shit
know,
had me.
man.
He said it was the whole ass joke. Oh my god.
Dude, it's so bad. It was like just really late 90s, like we're gonna smack talk, and like for some reason when they first call Mama Dudley a hoe, like Devon's about to murder someone. He is so mad about it, and I'm like, why?
This was unbridled anger ECW points. Like they weren't just sitting in the back having a good time. They were partying for sure. Devon might have been a little lit up for the night. And so murder might have actually been on his mind. Yeah. He was probably partying with Al Snow, if you get what I'm saying.
Snowman.
Oh Lord. This match was the shits, guys.
It's bad.
I watched this match twice, which was like 15 minutes, I think, total, right? Am I right on that? ECW Hardcore Heaven 1997. Let's see how long this match was. Anyway, I watched it twice because I needed to know how dog shit it was. It was 11 minutes long. I went half a star on it. This was... it was 10 minutes, 58 seconds each time, right? So 12, let's call it 11 minutes, 22 minutes total. Plus the entrances that I'll never get back. Fuck you, JC Ice. Fuck you, Wolfie D, which Casey has 100 stories about, apparently. I won't get that time back. This was the shits, and I would rather watch Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie than this match.
Yes.
Yes. Casey, I'm going to save you for last since you have about 1 million facts about Wolfie D.
I barely watched this fucking dog shit of a match.
Let's go with Cortland, who was the first one that looked stunned when I said I'd rather watch Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie. Let's start with you, Court. What'd you give it, my friend? How'd you feel about it? Tell me about the match.
I tell you about it. Nothing happened. It's 11 minutes of nothingness. It's an enhancement match. It's very much like Casey said. It's a scratch my back, I scratch yours. But I mean, who the fuck gives a shit about Memphis Pro Wrestling? So it's 10 minutes and 30 seconds too long.
Jammer.
I mean, really, I feel like half a star is too much.
Does this just get a dud all around?
Yes!
So here's my thing. My ratings go, like, you know me, I'm a pro wrestling fan. Like, I like story. I like compelling athleticism. This gave me a quarter of a star because thanks for attempting to kill yourself in the pro wrestling. Anytime you get between the ropes, that can happen. I'll give you a quarter of a star.
Gentleman's
simply
quarter.
off that, right? The other quarter comes from Joe Gertner. Rest of this is trash. Absolutely trash. I think the only thing that I actually took away from it is that the Dudleys can get you in a Dudley death drop from anywhere.
Yep.
And that's it. That is the only story they told me was if they hit you with that, it's over.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Pat.
I gave it 1.5 stars, man. I feel like an asshole. And that's not even a high. Look. It was a horrible.
You and I watched the same thing, Pat?
Listen to me, damn it. It was a horrible match. We know that. But Joel's the shit, man. Joel kind of killed it, and I low-key liked the fucking look. I'm gonna say two things. The whole Bubba Ray and Devon spot where Devon did that Looney Tunes ass bullshit where he didn't see fucking Bubba Ray, so he started fucking up his arm, and then he turns around.
He starts working on his arm.
That shit had me dying. But it also, I got something else to say. Watching Bubba Ray in this match and his chemistry with Devon Dudley, his half brother from Dudleyville, it couldn't help but make me think about what Chris Nowitzki was talking. Because there was a lot of smacks in the back of the head, smacks in the face. He was just smacking him around. Like,
just
oh my God, Pat, I can't react that way. I can't react anyway. We're fucked. It's three of us that are fucked. If we react one way, it's over for us.
I don't know, man. I was just
before
noticing some slaps in the back of the head. Like, I don't slap my friend.
Before you started to go into business for yourself, I was going to say it is a little fucked that Devon at the time was being billed from the south side of Dudleyville. And then Bubba is the mayor of Dudleyville. But, you know.
Yeah. Why did I not catch
That's how they build them.
It's me, the mayor, and this guy that I got off the street.
The south side.
Jesus, dude. I mean, holy shit.
It's kind of fucking dark, man. It's kind of dark.
Bubba's gonna be on fucking Busted Open like, yeah, it was good shit way back when.
Yeah, it was great.
What got us and
okay.
Fuck that.
So from the actual match, the only takeaways I have is one, that spot with Devon working Bubba's arm is pretty funny because it gets a "you fucked up" chant from the whole crowd.
Yeah.
Also, I barely watched this match because it's awful. I'm doing research on the side because I was really curious to see what the fuck PG-13 was and if they made it anywhere. But at one point, I hear a bounce chant from the crowd, and as they're chanting to get Jenna Jameson to bounce up and down, and she agrees to do a quick bounce, which gives a Joel Gertner, like, his little, like, excited
sweating.
His little, like, excited jump that he does. Bros, I had to pause it. I had to laugh for a second. I was like, I love Joel so much. And then I went back to what I was doing. Anyways, I was really curious because, like, sometimes when you have, like, these lesser people in the late 90s, you're like, did they ever do anything? So Wolfie D did. So both PG-13 made it to WCW for a half as a stint. Afterwards, Wolfie D actually made it to OVW. And was in I cannot believe I'm writing this down. He was in a goth faction with Batista, who was billed as Leviathan.
Was he in that?
I swear to God, dude, he was the leader of it. And
that's who that is.
And
a girl manager.
And Tomko, who was billed as Bane, and they were called the Disciples of Sin. Yeah. And Wolfie was Slash. So it was Slash, Bane, and Leviathan.
Oh my God.
Doesn't make it out of OVW. Ends up going to TNA. Where he joined the church that was led by the Sinister Minister.
Yeah.
And was a one-time tag champ with Brian Lee, who, if you don't know who that is, you might know him as Chains from the Disciples of the Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
I spent more time researching than I did watching this match. I was really intrigued, and I was like, "Oh my God, he was in a faction with Batista, who was known as the Leviathan." So we got that going for us.
What was his name in the?
He was he was Slash. Yeah, he was Slash. And then it was Tyson Tomko was the other guy, and the guy was like, "Hey, we know that guy." I don't know if giving it just no stars is worth it. I
implore you to Google Kelly Wolf with an E, pro wrestling fandom, and just see what this man looks like. In fact, I will send it in the group chat.
God help us.
Because I am stunned. And I know that Pat's going to have a good time with it when he sees what Wolfie D turned out to be. I sent it. Go ahead. Drink it in, champs. Enjoy that one.
You son.
That's what he ended up looking like.
Oh my
Totally
god! Somebody's got to
Jesus.
flash. You got to flash it so people can see. Yep, this way. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll try
Yeah,
to
it's fucking
get
brutal.
a little bit better.
There it is.
Yep,
Yeah, look
there
at
it is.
what a heel.
Oh,
All
my-
its glory.
This sucked butt cheeks.
For any just audio only, I will make sure that we post a photo of it on our Instagram
at Up and Over Pod.
at Up and Over Pod. Just so you can actually visualize that, because fucking Christ.
Yikes!
We get another helicopter segment after this. Sandman's still just driving recklessly throughout Florida.
Fucking, where's he going?
Here's my thought. Their concern in this very moment is that he can't find his way into the arena or to the arena. Not that he probably assaulted like ambulance workers, like paramedics, and stole their shit.
They
Also say
go-
that he's drunk driving.
Yeah, so I think it's this cutaway.
97 was a weird time.
I think it's during this cutaway is when they talk about how he did make one stop and it was to a gas station where he got a carton of cigarettes and some beer.
Some beer.
They do make a comment where they're like, I don't believe he knows where he's going, so hopefully, and he doesn't have a phone, so hopefully the dispatchers at the hospital can tell him where he needs to go through like the radio. And I'm like, we are just making this up on the fly now, aren't we? Like,
What the fuck?
Not good.
97 is
going.
wild as fuck.
We get back to the arena, the lights go out, and they come back on, and Jerry Lawler is in the ring.
And why did he do a lights out?
Wasn't that how he just showed up in ECW? Like that was his thing? Like lights out, lights on, and then he's back?
I don't remember. But it's
I
yeah.
don't remember.
Man, there was like 4 fucking flickers. Like, this nigga was chilling at the light switch.
I try to
Ready
block
for
out
this.
rapey vibey people in my mind.
He
Mm.
says that he wants to talk to the fans at home, the people watching at home. He says, you guys must have enough money, or more money than you do brains, so I would invite you guys to watch WWF Ground Zero coming up. Featuring Bret Hart, The Undertaker, and Steve Austin, not the the dope-headed derelicts like in ECW.
And then he cuts the same fucking promo in the ring about how
He literally says everything he said in that video promo
word
in the
for
ring.
fucking word.
Verbatim.
It's like he had fucking note cards. Was like, and then since you people didn't hear this, I'm gonna tell the fans in the arena what happened. And like everyone's like, why the fuck are you talking still? We don't want you here.
Shut up, dude.
What stood out about this match that we're going to get into, which is Tommy Dreamer with Beulah McGillicuddy with him, versus Jerry Lawler.
What are my notes?
I learned.
Cortland, feel free, please.
I learned worse shit about Jerry Lawler while this match was going on than I believe I ever wanted to know. But like, if you thought he wasn't already a giant piece of shit, like, look up what happened to him in '93. It's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Here's my notes. My notes are Jerry Lawler versus Tommy Dreamer with Beulah. Fuck this match.
Mhm.
Those are my notes.
Oh,
So,
do you have a rating?
No.
Did you
I
watch
don't
it?
rate.
So basically, I'm gonna
No.
do a quick recap because I will admit this right now. I just hovered over that skip 10 seconds and just started doing that for a while. But basically, Tommy Dreamer gets in. He just starts beating them up. They spilled at the outside. Tommy Dreamer's taking fucking beers from people in the crowd and he's hitting them on the head with them. The funniest part of the whole match is at one point he takes a hamburger from someone and he fucking chops that hamburger straight onto Jerry Lawler's chest. It made me giggle a little bit because there was like mayonnaise on him and shit. This match is, one moment, it is 18 minutes and 57 seconds long. Towards the tail end, you think Tommy Dreamer's going to get the win. Jake the Snake comes out. Why? No fucking idea. I will say he does say the fucking hardest thing into a camera. He leans into the camera and goes, "Your God, he giveth and taketh away. My God, he giveth, but he ain't got the balls to do anything else." And then ends up leaving. I was like, it just sounded fucking cool because it's Jake the Snake and he didn't have a fucking microphone. Forever fuck the both of these people. I was in a really shitty mood watching this. I didn't want to watch it. I knew we had to watch it because of this. The things that Jerry Lawler has done throughout his entire life, he deserves just his own special spot in like a separate hell. And fuck Tommy Dreamer for trying to protect someone from doing something just not great.
Yeah, like I watched this match, but like I mind-numbingly watched this match. Like I didn't retain any of it. I wrote 0 notes, but I watched all of it. Just
why
not
was it
happy about it.
Why was it
at all.
19 minutes long?
I mean,
Tommy
probably
Dreamer is ECW, brother.
Yeah, it was
because he's hardcore.
and it was the WWF and
Yeah, it was your WWF spot.
dog shit promo bullshit match.
And how is he the king of fucking ECW when all he did was fucking smash a grown man with a fucking plastic cup of beer?
Who fucking knows, man?
Like,
This was after like the caning stuff, no?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
way after.
this is after
Yeah.
he's literally fucking handcuffed to a handcuffed like he's being crucified and being caned in the face.
Yeah, this is like
So I
we're
mean, he
right.
is the face of ECW, man.
He is, but like this is just fucking bad.
They
And
love
it.
it.
Fucking
Dude,
bums me out, dude.
stop looking at Tommy Dreamer with 2022 eyes and think about it back then. They were putting him in that spot because he was the guy that showed up every week, stayed longer than anybody else, like would get the shit beaten out of him, and really still was the guy that was like wanting to learn and be better.
I could probably do that for any other match than this.
Yeah, I mean, 2 literal scumbag piece of dog shit humans, right? But
I can try to. There's a lot of things that people have done, and we just for this, just the sake of this podcast, we have to separate the art from the artist. But like, fuck Jerry Lawler, so it's really hard. Like,
I don't know, man. This match is just it's really off-putting, unsettling. Knowing what we know about these 2 individuals in 2022, there's not a whole lot of respect there for me. So it's really hard to give this match any type of credit or anything that it might potentially deserve in other people's eyes. But for me, it's worth nothing. I took absolutely nothing good away from this, and I give this simply a dud. Actually, fuck that. I give it a negative star.
yes, our first one.
I mean,
Ah.
we're basically just confirming that we'd rather watch probably anything else than this. So
Yes. I will watch the first TNA pay-per-view over and over and over again before I ever have to watch this match.
So bad.
it's so bad.
It's fucking
It's awful.
terrible. Pat, have you seen the first TNA? Like the NWA TNA first pay-per-view?
Oh, I
It's
made him
ass
watch
cheek.
it one time. He was so mad.
They have little people wrestling and are out loud calling them midgets.
Yeah.
They are making racist jokes. They have a gay tag team and they're like, oh, look at these F slurs out loud. It's a doozy.
It is
And-
something.
To say that you'd rather watch that rather than 18 minutes and 57 seconds of this bullshit is stunning.
Let's just
Casey,
move
did you
on.
give your review?
I don't want to give it a fucking anything.
I'll give it a gentleman's quarter star.
yo, yo, yo. God, you gotta tell me to stop texting me, bro.
Lord.
I gave this match 5 stars easily.
All right. Well,
Nah, for real, it's garbage. We know. There's nothing left to
this
say.
has come.
We can
This
move
whole
on.
this whole podcast has come off the
He was
rails.
like, I'm gonna make everyone mad.
I watched Pat. Pat was too straight faced for too long. He was just like,
Yeah.
I knew he was choosing violence. I just didn't know what way he would choose
You
violence.
diabolical son of a bitch.
God bless. This was the shits. We get a half hype package for the main event, but it was like it just stopped. I don't know if they had like difficulties with their equipment or what. We also get an update on Sandman. He's officially made it to the War Memorial. Police try and apprehend him, but he assaults them.
He's out
With
of
a
the
cane.
he's out of the
Okay.
ambulance. There's
Okay.
5 grown men
No.
surrounding him, and he has a fucking
No.
Singapore cane, and he's just
man.
beating people with it.
Beating the
So,
shit out
Oh,
of him.
I just want to get this straight. He took it. He stole an ambulance during the pre-show from
Drove
that
for 2
arena,
hours.
right? And drove around the city for 2 hours because he couldn't figure out where the arena was.
Okay, well, so once again, he made it to the hospital before he stole the ambulance. So he didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so like at the beginning, they had said like he had made it to the hospital. He fucking escaped and stole the ambulance and made
This
it
is
back.
also the time.
First-
This is also the time before GPS.
For some
So this
reason, we're
motherfucker had
also,
no idea
we're
where the
also
fuck he was.
failing to mention the fact that he had a fucking Singapore cane in the ambulance with him. And then, yeah, the best part is like, I don't know who they had as their, like, police officers, but, like, they're getting hit and you're hearing them go, ah. They're like, God, stop it. Because he's just like, anytime someone got kind of remotely close, he'd go, whap, and just like, just keep smacking these fucking dudes. And then they're just like, Sandman's here, I guess. And then there's like pan back to the main event happening.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, well, we get to our main event. It's for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. It is Sabu, your champion, defending against Shane Douglas and Terry Funk in a triple threat match, a 3-way dance, if you will. I don't really want to even cover this because this match was the shits.
So bad.
It's literal dog shit.
So I'm gonna, because I know Cortland has shit written down on it. He has to. Then I'm gonna give it to Casey. Casey, what you got? I'm gonna come out and say that I gave it a flat star. It wasn't good at all.
So, to paint a picture, 2 of the 3 people on this match should not have been in it.
No.
A week prior to this, we have one of the most famous matches of all time, and it's Terry Funk versus Sabu in a barbed wire match, where Sabu cuts open his bicep and has to get over 100 stitches.
That shit's hanging the fuck out.
During that match, he takes his wrist tape off and then wraps his own bicep up and continues the match. It's one of the most insane fucking things I've ever seen. That's a week prior to this match. So
This nigga Sabu is crazy.
So Sabu from about just below his elbow to his shoulder is covered in tape because he literally has one of the gnarliest injuries anyone's ever sustained. And then you have Terry Funk, who's 53 fucking years old and is tired throughout this whole match. He is
He's sleepy.
exhausted. Before we get Sabu in the ring, it's Shane Douglas, Francine, and Terry Funk, and Francine pulls out some money from her dress, and it looks to be about $7 whole.
Yeah,
And
deadass.
tries to pay off Terry Funk to just leave.
She handed this man $11.50 in a dry cleaner card.
Bro, he takes the money and throws it, and I was like, that looks like it was like literally fucking $7 in once. I was so confused. Sabu comes out to no music. Once again, we're in the mystery realm of did he have music or not? It's just gone. It's fucking dead silent. The match starts off where Terry Funk just gets out of the ring and looks at both of the 2 other men and just goes, "Go on, fight." God, this match is so bad. There's like no redeeming qualities from this match from start to finish. We get a fucking phenomenal botch from Sabu where the chair has been used too many times, so he goes to do his springboard off of it. The chair fucking breaks. He goes to take a step, and the fucking like lip of the like butt of the seat just fucking crumples, and he fucking slips and falls. Yeah, there's nothing good in this. Shane Douglas wins, if I'm not mistaken. I don't.
Yeah,
Bro, this is a fucking fever dream of a fucking main event. It's
really bad.
Yeah, you get Dory Funk Jr. out at some point.
Yeah, you get a Dory Funk where he like starts chasing Francine.
Yeah, this match doesn't
of-
make a whole lot of sense, but
half of the locker room like spills out to just watch it, and I'm like, there's nothing redeeming to watch about this match. And there's people like standing out there, and they're like, oh, like when there's like a 2 count, and I'm like, it was for a half-ass clothesline. Like, what are we doing here, pal? Like,
yeah, this match, like I said, doesn't have a whole lot of redeeming qualities. I mean, I understand why they did it like a year before. They did like an hour-long brawl between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
It was like a year or 2 before this. So like it made good money. It was one of like the first ECW like extreme championship wrestling matches that like really caught the internet. You know, like people were obsessed with this match. Like I said last week, ECW is one of those. Is the company when you look at the first triple threats and 3-way dances, they are the company, they're the template for how it was done. This one just didn't do great. No. I'm personally going to give this match a star and 3/4. I appreciate the effort, like you said, Sabu coming out in the shape that he's in and him still performing at the level and for the amount of time that he did. Fucking hats off to you because you didn't have to. By any circumstance.
God.
Shane Douglas is I defend Shane Douglas as much as possible. It's hard to defend him in this match. He didn't do a whole lot of great stuff. However, he worked his role.
He tried.
Yeah, he worked his role to the best of his ability, and it came off decently. Terry Funk should just not have been in the ring, and he continued wrestling for like 20 years after this. So, some shit like that, like 10 more years.
So
it's not a whole lot to it.
We still had his Chainsaw Charlie run coming up with Cactus Jack and
not that much longer after this.
Yeah, I talked about that with Pat earlier because whenever we were talking about
he gets thrown off the fucking stage in a dumpster, man.
Yeah, I was like, whenever we were talking about the Sting or Terry Funk in the group chat, like which one at the age, I was like, dude, when he was 53, he wasn't even Chainsaw Charlie yet.
We hadn't gotten to that point
isn't
yet,
that
bud.
fucking insane?
So, post-match, once again, most of the locker room's out. The Dudleys get into the ring, and they're like, hey, Shane, like, you clearly like gold. Francine clearly is a gold digger. And they're like, the Dudleys have the tag team gold. They're like, the rest of the franchise, like, the rest of fucking, god damn it, what is their name?
Franchise.
It's three something, isn't it? Because it's him, Candido, and Bam Bam are all in a faction together, and I'm fucking spacing on what it is.
Is it Triple Threat?
Triple Threat. There we go. Yeah. So he's like, why don't you have like the new Triple Threat with the Dudleys and Shane Douglas, and then like a fucking brawl ensues. The rest of the locker room gets involved. And then, like, Shane just, like, sneakily gets out and, like, Triple Threat leaves. And then there's just, like, a stupid fucking fight happening. To then where New Jack and Cronus come out. I will say this because they're on the next pay-per-view that we do. They're going to be billed as the Gangstanators. And that is the fucking most ridiculous name.
The
and then they basically do the whole no, I'm not kidding. They mash them together because you've got New Jack by himself, Perry Saturn still out. Perry Saturn comes out and does a fucking he does a leg drop, and he has his entire leg is in a it's in like
and it's fucking cast.
Yeah,
and it's
which he does the leg drop and then like legitimately sells his leg, and I'm like, yeah, you fucking idiot! Like, why are you doing that? Like, you legitimately had knee surgery. Why are you doing this?
It's ridiculous.
It's like the most just fucking.
It's just chaos, man. But that's just like how Barely Legal was,
Yeah.
right? Like the 3-way dance for that is just a fucking mess, dude.
It's-
It's chaos. It makes absolutely zero sense. There's not a whole lot of story other than what the forefront story is that you know off rip, right? And that one was Terry Funk's gonna finally get the gold. And then we're here and it's not what everyone hyped it up to be.
No.
You're not going to get 5-star fucking matches out of a 52, 53-year-old Terry Funk.
Yeah.
You get what you get out of it. You know, like, I love Terry Funk.
They're running this man in, like, Weekend at Bernie's.
It just blows my mind. I mean, dude, I got nothing but love for the Funk, you know? Nothing but love. But realistically...
He did not need to be in this. This is...
No. Look at Barely Legal. Look at that. Y'all let him do that moonsault off that turnbuckle, and he about killed that kid.
He did
twice.
Too. He almost broke his own neck, and then he almost murdered someone.
Dude, and it's just... He's 53 years old. What are we doing? It's just so fucking mind-boggling, man. But like,
guys, it's important that you know, not to interrupt, but my ECW 1997 and 2001 pay-per-views just downloaded legally entirely.
Hey, let's go.
So
hell yeah.
But yeah,
I'm all
basically
in.
at the end of that, we're done with hardcore heaven.
Thank God.
Nobody rated the main event.
You don't need to.
I went 1 star.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I went 1.5 stars, right?
I think all that needs to be said is at the end of that giant cluster, you just see Terry Funk sitting on the fucking ropes because he's exhausted.
Oh my God, dude. It's
And
so
that's
great.
how I felt at the end of this pay-per-view. I looked at
He's
Terry
like-
Funk and I was like, that's me right now.
He's
watching
like
this
sitting
shit.
on the middle rope, both arms back on the top rope, and he's just sitting there, and everyone's beating the shit out of each other. But everyone's like looking at Terry like they're gonna attack him, and they're like, "Nah, never mind."
Literally during the brawl, he just
No rope
disappears. He disappears into the crowd, and then like towards the end, you just see him like standing up like 3 rows up, and he's just like, "Yay!" Like,
Yeah.
because New Jack is like doing all the damage, and he's like, "Hell yeah, brother!" And like it's such a fucking disaster.
Terry Funk just exists, man.
No.
Well, that wraps
What's
up
on the docket?
ECW Hardcore Heaven 1997. Our next pay-per-view is going to be ECW November to Remember of 1997.
It's an interesting card.
Yeah, we have Tommy Rogers, Chris Candido. Chris Candido and Lance Storm versus Jerry Lynn and Tommy Rogers. So I guess that devolves, is what it seems like. We have Mikey Whipwreck versus Just Incredible.
Ooh.
We also get Taz defending his ECW World Television Championship against Pitbull number 2.
Just don't spoil anything, but just take a look at how long that match is.
I'm looking at cage match, so I don't see the run times. I'm just seeing the actual card because I don't want anything spoiled.
You will be mildly surprised.
How long?
Oh my God.
18 minutes?
It's a minute and a half long.
No.
It's 1 minute and 29 seconds.
We have an ECW World Tag Team Title 4-way elimination match. The FBI, which is Little Guido and Tracy Smothers, taking on Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney, taking on the Dudleys, which is Bubba and Devon.
Let's go.
With Big Dick Dudley, Joel Gertner, and Sign Guy Dudley with them against
The Gangstanators.
the Gangstonators. Cronus and
That is
New
insane.
Jack.
That just sounds racist.
Then we have Tommy Dreamer versus.
I was writing it in my notes, and my iPhone was like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, unfortunately."
Then we have Tommy Dreamer versus Rob Van Dam in an ECW versus WWF flag match. Then we have the Sandman taking on Sabu in a tables and ladders match. And the match to end the night is an ECW World Heavyweight Championship match. Bam Bam Bigelow, who is our new champion, taking on Shane Douglas.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Sick.
Casey, I
Might
know that
run
I
it
didn't-
right now. Who knows?
Oh, you're fine.
I know I'm gonna do it as we get off of here. I know I didn't add it in the beginning. I'm the piece of shit here. Everybody make fun of me. I'm the scumbag. I still haven't deleted AEW Full Gear review, but not that bad of a situation. But I meant to mention earlier in the night in the podcast for us that we are doing a live review as it's happening of WWE Royal Rumble 2022 on our YouTube page over at the Up and Over Podcast YouTube. So if you want to come and tag along, we can watch the son of a bitch together because I'm sure we're all going to have so much fun. I want you guys to know something. It is important that I get this out of my head now because if I don't, I'm with it. And if I die with it, that means you guys will never know. So for some reason, I'll be doing stuff at my house, just casually. And I'll just start hearing dewdrop because that's all I hear Pat saying in my head is dewdrop over and over and over because you said it one time and it stuck with me. So
Dude!
it makes me want to die.
We have to watch a match involving it. So just to do a recap of it, we will be watching it. However, just due to copyright shit with YouTube, we will not be showing it, or there'll be no video or audio of it. So just kind of imagine us watching it with you in your house, but there might be a slight delay. But yeah, we will watch the whole thing live. So if you don't, it's COVID-y time still. So if you don't have anyone coming over for a Royal Rumble party, we'll be your guests. You don't have to even feed us. It's great.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to be a clusterfuck. Yeah.
Hang out in the chat. Give us predictions on who you think's going to win, what you want to come from the Rumble, who do you want as your entrances, your surprises, all that good stuff. We love any input that we get in any of our reviews, rather that be Wednesday AEW Dynamites or AEW Rampages on Friday reviews immediately following the shows. They're sometimes hit or miss. A lot of times it's because only two of us can do it or only one of us can do it. We have dropped the ball on that. We do apologize, and hopefully that will be picked back up very soon. But yeah, man, the YouTube reviews are really fun. We enjoy people being in there. We enjoy the input and you guys telling us what you want us to do next. It really helps us get through this and know that there's people out there that care about what we're doing. Because we spend a lot of time and a lot of effort putting this stuff together for you. But we're much as fans of this as you are. So we really appreciate the support. We hope to see you at the Royal Rumble review or live, whatever we're
Like
calling
a watch party? I don't fucking know.
Let's call it a watch party. Sounds real nice. It sounds pleasant.
Hell yeah. Trademark.
Fellas, is there anything else that you would like to add before I get us on out of here?
All hail the House of Black.
All hail House of Black.
Yes. I would like to add one thing and one thing only because I don't want to ever abandon it. Fuck Michael Cole. Guys, if you are still here and still listening, thanks for listening to another edition of the Up and Over podcast. For Pat, for Cortland, for Casey, and for the missing Cadillac Cowboy Ethan, I am Mike. We hope you guys enjoyed your stay, and we'll see you back here next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're using.